And welcome back to the East Gym in Brunswick, Ohio. It's Brunswick High School. We're sports on tap, and we have all kinds of guests right now. We have about 5 guests, I believe, here. 4 or 5, one of the two.
I think this is the most we've ever had on our show at one time.
Well, you can tell we went to Brunswick because you can't count. No, I'm saying that knowing that I went to Brunswick.
There's like 6 people here, but I don't know who's going to be on. So
you were so okay, Rob.
Whatever.
Okay.
There's 4. There's 5. There's 6.
We just talked to the guy.
It's not about us.
He could jump in.
It's not about us. It's about them.
That's right.
I hope he does, just to prove you wrong.
Hey, man, we're just trying to chop down those trees, man.
That's right. We want to welcome in head coach of the Brunswick Blue Devils, Joe Mackey. He's in his 20th season, and he leads Medina County with 305 wins. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
Thanks for allowing us in. Guys are still practicing. We also have Kevin Simmons, Aaron Badowski, and Michael Quiring here on the team, all seniors, and want to welcome them in too. Guys, thanks for joining us. Taking time from practice, which I'm sure you guys are kind of happy about, right?
I don't know.
Kevin, thank you for having us.
Kevin seemed kind of bummed out when Coach said he had to come over and talk to us.
Kevin, were you kind of bummed?
No, not really. I was just getting some shots up.
Fair enough.
So, guys, it's been 50 years since the Brunswick Blue Devils have won a conference championship. How did it feel, first off, to beat Strongsville 37-35 and win conference? How did that feel after the buzzer sounded there? Aaron, we'll talk to you first.
We were definitely speechless after that one. Obviously, we didn't play our best game, but it was nice to get a win, especially playing good defense. Coach has been honest all year about that, so it was good to hold the team in the 30s and win that way instead of just outscoring teams.
Yeah, there's not a lot of times. I mean, the one good thing about seeing this team is you guys score a lot of points, but then defensively, a 37-35 game, it shows you guys can win at all levels, whether it's a high scoring or if it's a defensive affair. How has the season gone for you guys? You know, we talked to Josh a little bit earlier, and you guys lost a few games in a row. Talk about how you came back and bounced back and got some big wins after those 2 losses.
Oh, yeah, I think the biggest thing is there's always going to be ups and downs in the season, and it's just staying positive. And Coach always stresses defense, and that's in those games we lost, that was definitely what we were struggling on, defense and the rebounding. And I think that if we want to make a good run, we need to just focus on our defense and rebounding. Just like Coach tells us, we could score the ball, but we just need to get stops.
That's Michael Quiring. He's the point guard on the team, and we know he'll provide a few quotes for us on this show today. Kevin, you had a game-winning layup in Strongsville. Talk about that feeling. There was video online of it, and it was written about all over in the papers. I'm sure you had to read most of those articles, right?
Not really. I read the Medina Gazette one in the morning. That was here, and then after that, it was on to the next game. I mean, Coach Mackey always says don't think about all the success. I need to move on to the next play, no matter what, success or bad. So just try to move on.
And talk a little bit about how you guys have progressed through the season. You know, maybe talk a little bit about maybe some of the things that maybe changed, or maybe some things that you galvanized from the first game to where you guys are now.
I think towards the start of the season, like Coach says a lot, we kind of came out lackadaisical on the defensive end, and on the rebounding side of the ball, and we've really been trying to focus on improving those statistics and getting stop after stop, and then coming down on the other end, scoring, trying to string together streaks.
You guys, same question goes to you guys as well.
Well, these guys talk a lot about defense. Like, obviously you win 18 games playing the schedule that we do. We're pretty good offensively. It's one of the best offensive teams I've ever coached. Not because we won the league, but it's just these guys know how to play. I could sit down the whole game and these guys would figure out a way to score. Unfortunately for us, we don't have a center. I mean, Aaron's doing the best that he can. It's probably one of the more unselfish things I've seen since I've been here. He's guarding Division I guy after Division I guy this year. He's never played center his entire life, and we're asking him to play center. He's been a guard his entire life, and we just don't have, besides Aaron, we don't have a lot of rim protectors. You know, I don't think we've posted up in, 20 games. We tried to early in the year, and we just kind of went away from it. And do what we do best. But because we're outsized, we really have to worry about the rebounding. I don't think we're a very good rebounding team. I think our defense, these guys are right, our defense has gotten better. It's hard for me to say that with these guys here, but I will admit that we've gotten a little bit better, and that's why we've won 11 out of 12.
Well, Coach Mackey, you talked about size. You know, John Teskey at Medina is 7'1". Talk about how you guys stopped him, especially, you know, at Aaron at 6'6". I mean, that's a tall task for anybody.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. To stop a 7'1" center. He's going to Michigan, and you guys came out with a huge win.
Well, I don't know if we stopped him. Aaron did his best, and we tried to do some things to kind of neutralize him. But there's a reason he's going to Michigan, and it's not just because he's 7'1". That's what people fail to realize. He's got a lot of skill. He's really improved from his junior season, and obviously he's a very tough matchup, not just for us but for anybody. But you know, I think our guys executed really well, especially Aaron over here. We doubled when we could, but I think we did probably a better job of controlling everybody else and keeping him to right around his average. But you know, everyone talks about whether or not we'll get a chance to play him for a third time, and what are you going to do the next time you play him? And I refuse to answer that question because we still have. We just want to get to the sectional championship. I tell these guys all the time, I've never seen a team win the district without winning the sectional. So we're just going to take one game at a time. If we're fortunate to play him again, we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach, there's an old sports cliche called act like you've been there before. Well, in this case, you guys have never won. We haven't won the conference championship in quite a while, and this is your first as a coach. So is there anything changed, or is anything with the mindset?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. But to be honest, I don't feel any different than when everybody keeps saying you got to be so I'm happy for the three guys that are here, you know. But me personally, I'm just as proud as some of the other teams that I've coached that won 18 games, 16 games, and had no business winning those amount of games. They're just Garfield Heights was in the way, a team that would probably beat us 99 out of 100 times, and I think we did beat them a couple of those years. But I'm proud of these guys. They deserve the hardware. At the beginning of the year, everybody thought Medina, but we thought if they slip up, we want to be that next team, and our guys never really believed in that. I think these guys right here believe that they were the best team in the league, and they played like it all year long. But me personally, I'll be very honest. I don't feel that much different. Maybe some of it to do with we still have season left, so maybe sometime in July, maybe I'll look back. But right now, I'm just kind of worried about the next game.
You know, this next question is from Michael. You know, you're the point guard of the team. Talk a little bit about, you know, you've been playing with a lot of these guys a long time. Do you know exactly where they're going to be on the court, and how do you know, you're the floor general out there. What do you prefer to do? Do you like to drive and pass, or do you rather shoot the ball from outside? What's something that you enjoy doing?
I mean, I definitely know how Zach and Aaron and Josh play because we've been playing for a while now. Kevin, not so much. He kind of runs around a lot, and he makes more of our athletic plays, but I don't really know where he's going sometimes. But
nobody did.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just I forget what the second part of the question was. What was the second part of the question?
No, that's all right.
It was your attention to detail.
Yeah, in timeouts I sometimes forget what we're doing.
No, that's okay. No, if you prefer to, you know, pass the ball, you like to shoot.
Just think about paninis, Rob.
Yeah, I know. You're almost there
too.
too.
Good over there. But yeah, my game, I just kind of take what they give me. If I'm open, I'll shoot it. I'll try to drive, get in there, kick it out to the open guy. But yeah, I kind of just let the game come to me, get others involved, and just play within myself.
I'll add to that. Mike is. I've coached a lot of great point guards, and I'm afraid to say if Mike was the best one, because then I'd have like Wes and Sean Kelly and guys like that might come up here, Mixon and those guys, and get mad at me. But I will say this about Mike: he's really when he first came up, 7th and 8th grade, he was strictly a point guard, distribute, you know, and then we were having a hard time scoring, and I remember going up to the coaching staff. I said, Michael's got to figure out that he can score, and he's come a long way in that regard. I think he averages about 14 and a half, but he in another program, he could probably go for 20, which he has on any given night, but he probably could average 20. But he's a really unselfish young man. He all he cares about really is whether or not we win the game. And another thing about Mike too is he's one of our best defensive players, which nobody really talks about.
Coach, what else do you like? You know,
and he hasn't come out of the game in about 2 months.
When you look at Kevin and the rest of the guys, talk a little bit about what you enjoyed seeing in their game. They're all seniors now. How have they developed, and what did you really enjoy coaching these guys?
Well, I'll say, Mike was pretty easy to coach. Kevin is one of the more difficult guys I've ever coached, but also one of the most talented guys I've ever coached. He's a freak athlete. He loves the game. He's a gym rat. You tell him to be here at 6 in the morning, he'll be here at 5 o'clock in the morning. He's that kind of kid. I don't think I've ever yelled at one player probably more consistently than I have Kevin over my 20 years. But I love Kevin. I think Kevin knows how much I love him, and it's tough love. I mean, I'm sure there are times when he goes home and he says every name in the book about me, but I think it's paid off because he's had a phenomenal year. He's an all-conference player. I think he's one of the best players in Northeast Ohio, and hopefully some college will come calling here and get a really good player. But the other night against Shaker, we were really struggling, and he just kind of put us on his back, and he's grown. He's the one guy. We're a very unselfish team. We always wondered if he could buy in, and he just showed he cares more about his teammates in this program than he does his individual stats. So he's come a long way. And then Aaron, like I said earlier, Aaron's playing out of position. We were trying to find an identity prior to the year. We prefer him to be our stretch 4, but it just kind of worked out when we decided Gessler was going to be a starter as a freshman. We had to move Aaron to the 5. And in all the years I've coached, I don't think we've played more talented 5-men on our schedule. I mean, how many 5-men, Aaron, that are getting scholarships? At least 4 or 5 you had to go against night in and night out. And he's done a phenomenal job learning a new position. And he too, all these guys that are talking to you guys right now are college players, and they may not be D1 guys like some of the teams that we've played, but we've got 4 or 5 guys on our roster that could play college basketball, and I'll take 4, or maybe Kevin hopefully gets somewhere else, but you take 3 or 4 D3 guys, that might trump that D1 guy, and I think that's kind of how we judge that.
Coach, talk a little bit about, every year it seems like you have to have a different offense and defensive mindset with the talent you have. Talk about this year. How have things changed offensively and defensively to the talent you have?
Well, we lose Armagast. He's at Mount Union, and then we lost Bullock is at Worcester. And those guys are 6'6", 6'7". They were anchors down low for us for 2 straight years. And then we go back, and we've got 6'6", and Kevin's probably our next tallest. What are you, Kev, about 6'1"? Yeah, but Zach doesn't start. I'm just trying to go. We play small. He's taller than you? All right, so our next guy's 6'2", so obviously that's a huge adjustment. Besides Aaron, we really don't have a guy to protect the basket. And then offensively, last year we ran ball screen motion, and we ran it for 2 years. We got to be real good at it. And then this year we thought we could go to it, but then once we decided to go small, we kind of run a 5-out motion. And these guys kind of read off of each other. You're right. High school basketball, you can't really pick and choose. You just gotta see what you have and change from year in and year out. But these kids, the good thing, and they've talked about it, they played together almost their whole lives, so it makes my job a lot easier. They know where they're going to be on the court, and defensively we don't play as much zone as we've had in the past, and that's a good thing because we've got guys that can play a little bit more man, and we played zone in the past because we couldn't keep guys in front. So I would say we played a lot less zone, and we played a lot more 5-out than we ever anticipated.
And so this week, you guys, you guys are playing a team you're somewhat familiar with. You're playing Highland. I believe it was the season opener for you, and now it's the playoff opener for you guys. Talk a little bit about your preparation going to that game.
Highland's a good team. I mean, they do a lot of good things. So we've done a lot. We went out and watched them, watched a lot of tape, and we've tried to figure out some things they're going to do and a different way to defend them than the first time, and play a lot better than we did the first time, and hopefully we can come out with a win.
Yeah, we're definitely going to prepare like any other game, like it's our rival, because in the playoffs it's one loss and you're done. So we're going to really bring everything we have. We're going to watch the tape from when we played them the first time, and we're just going to really prepare like there's no tomorrow, because we know that there is no tomorrow if we lose.
I'd like to say something too. Coach said early in practice we were about a D- defensively in that game to start the year, and we didn't play that great offensively either. I think me and Zach went about 1 for 20 that game, so Kevin and Q definitely kind of pulled their weight in that game, and I think if we can get all 4 of our guys involved and everybody's effective, we should be able to win this one.
Yeah, that was a game that was, I think, 48-38, I believe, was the final score. So that was another low-scoring game. You know, looking in the playoffs, things do change. Is there anything that you've watched from Highland that have they changed anything throughout the season? You know, as they've gone along, have they changed anything offensively or defensively?
Yeah, they run some. They have some new wrinkles, just like probably every team this stage of the season. Second half of the year, they put some new things in, and you know, I would think their coach would say the same thing. It's first game. A lot of things can happen in that first game, and they're a lot better basketball team. We're a lot better basketball team, and we've got a lot of respect for them. They've got some size. They got some guards that can put it on the floor. They got some guards that can shoot it. So. You know, they have 14 wins, and they play in a pretty difficult league. So, you know, obviously you look at the seeds, and we're the 1 seed, and they're the 8 seed or whatever they are. But, you know, we don't take anything for granted. We just take one game at a time, and the seed is just a number. We know 7 o'clock on Saturday night we got to be ready to play, and all it takes is one bad game, and we'll be eliminated. So it's going to be a tough game. It's one I'm sure they're excited to play and try to get a little bit of revenge, but. We got 11 seniors on this team that I'm pretty sure that they don't want the season to end on Saturday.
Yeah, it's, you know, still a lot of season hopefully left. And, Ed, do you have any other questions? I know I have one more for the guys before they leave here.
Oh, I'm good. Definitely best of luck to you guys going forward.
Thank you.
We're you know, Rob, Josh, and myself, we're Brunswick alums, and we're very, very happy, and we're very proud of the work that you guys have done up to this point, and we know that you guys are going to take it that much further in the playoffs.
Guys, before you guys leave, what's one thing you guys remember from this season? You know, being seniors, I'm sure you guys had, you know, some fun stories to tell, you know, some ups and downs, but what are some fun stories or times this year that you guys all remember before you guys leave? Everybody's laughing, too, so they must have one
this
here.
This better be good.
Probably the
One
best
apiece.
story is preseason, I think, and Coach kicked Kevin out of practice.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was Ryan Flynn and Kevin were kind of jawing back and forth, and something happened, and Coach just blamed it on Kevin, kicked Kevin out. Then, like 5 minutes later, Coach came running back in the locker room, telling Kevin to get back in the gym. Yeah. And probably the best one was probably cutting the nets down, because that was just a really special moment for the team as well as the community to see us do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, do you have I'm sure that story remains in your mind, but do you have any other good stories?
Kenny Catholic, because we were losing the whole game, we couldn't do anything, and then Q hitting that game winner. That was a really great moment. I mean, like, I started flying down the floor after he hit it. It was insane. Yeah, just because we played so bad in the beginning of the game, and for us to, like, come together and win the game, it was a really great moment.
And there was, I think, video of that, too, wasn't there? Online, I believe.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was pretty awesome. Aaron.
I think one of my highlights every year is going to Eastern Ohio team camp. I think we grow a lot as a team there. As much as it is a grind down there. You play outside, and you play about 45 games over the course of 3 days.
Still playing, like, next to the cornfields?
Right.
That's what we do, Josh.
Oh,
wow.
It's a really great team bonding experience. We have a lot of fun during the nights. You know, we're always heckling each other and having a good time. So it's definitely one of my favorite parts of the year.
Coach Mackey, I'm sure you have all kinds of stories from this year.
I have a few. I think obviously the best part was there's two. The night we won at Strongsville, just because we struggled so much, and I've been yelling at these guys all year, like we could be so much better on the defensive end, and we were so bad offensively against one of our rivals, and it was so frustrating, but we just kept getting stop after stop, and then we had some things go against us, but we took minute 30 off the clock, executed. Aaron set an unbelievable screen. Kevin Waltz us right to the basket. So and then obviously I saw, as soon as the buzzer sounded and we clinched at least a share, Chris Sabula, who's a former college teammate of mine and one of my assistants for 20 years, he's been involved with Brunswick basketball for 35 years, and I looked over, and his son Zach, he's actually sick today, he missed the practice, but a great player for us. He was in his dad's arms, and that I'll kind of never forget that in my entire career. And then the next game we played at home against Shaker, and seeing the kids get to cut the nets down one by one and go up. yeah, got a little lump in my throat, I'm not going to lie. And then my daughter was there. She got to cut a piece of the net. Struggled a little bit, but she got it down. Yeah, that was special. These guys, like I try to tell people all the time, we've won a lot of games since I've been here, and it's great, and these guys got to cut the nets. But I think the thing that you remember most at the end of the year will be the relationships you forge with these guys. And I think the three guys sitting here and Josh and David's over there, one of my assistants now, but former players. The best thing about coaching is getting to know kids like this, and these guys will be back, and they'll graduate here, and when our season's done, they might not play for me anymore, but they'll always be a part, just like you guys, always be a part of our program, and kind of created that family atmosphere. So the buzzer beater he hit, Mike hit one where unbelievable. We didn't score the whole first quarter, as we said, but it's probably the relationships you forge mean more to me than any win or loss that I've ever had.
Well, guys, we appreciate you guys taking time
Absolutely.
and having us at your practice today. Very cool. We appreciate your time coming on, and good luck. Congratulations on the conference championship, and good luck coming up in the tournament.
Yeah, we win a few more games here. We might have to have you guys come back.
Sounds
to be
good.
Back.
Sounds
Love
good.
to be back.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having
That's
us.
head coach of the Brunswick Blue Devils, Joe Mackey, joining us, along with Aaron Badowski, Michael Quiring, and Kevin Simmons. Want to thank them. We're Sports on Tap. Thanks for joining us from Brunswick High School.